If you're letting the interest rates scare you, you are not alone. Tons of would-be buyers are staying out of the real estate market because they are really nervous about those high sevens that we are seeing in the marketplace right now. So lots and lots of homeowners are refusing to get out of their current mortgage by searching for a home that would fit them better, and they're kind of stuck in the homes that they're currently living in. We're definitely seeing the impact of that on the market in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hey everyone, my name is Christen.ripoli, and I am your local real estate expert in Charlotte, North Carolina and the surrounding counties. And it is the middle of October, so you know that it's time for the real estate stats for last month. Stay tuned to the very end so that you can see all of the numbers for the Charlotte region for September 2023. If you've been watching the channel for some time, you probably already know exactly what we're going to talk about today. But if this is your first time here, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button and click on the little bell so that you're notified every time we post new videos here on the channel. My husband and I post videos every single week, from the real estate numbers and stats to new construction videos and neighborhood tours, all the way to things about Charlotte in general, so that you know exactly what it's like to live, work, and play here in the Queen City. Without further ado, let's jump into this month's numbers. In the month of September 2023, you can see we had 4,294 new listings. And if you notice, that's a little bit of a decrease from August, which is typical. We do see this number going down in the fall and continue to go down into the winter, usually. Now, if you look at our traditional new listings by month, the graph at the bottom, we always like to say this tends to look like and resemble a heartbeat. And you might notice that back in 2009, we had a very strange occurrence where it did not appear to be a heartbeat at all, or if it did, it was not very healthy. But then we saw things kind of get back to normal until 2020, which we saw. It looks a little strange, but not terrifying. But when we go to this year, 2023, this is very similar to the picture we saw in 2009. So new listings are not painting a very pretty picture in 2023. Things have been really hectic, with interest rates being higher, much higher than people were used to, and sellers, or rather homeowners, are not willing to give up those very low rates, even if they're not happy with their current home. That means new listings are lower than normal in 2023. You'll notice it's only an 8.6% decrease from September 2022, but definitely a big difference from what we've seen over the past several years. This next stat we're going to take a look at are pending sales. Now, this stat is exactly what it sounds like. It is a count of the pending contracts. Anything that is under contract in Canopy in our MLS is going to be counted on this number. In September 2023, there were 3,336 pending sales, which was a decrease from August and a 4.1% decrease from September 2022. Now, you'll notice that if you look at this graph here, it does not look quite as scary as the new listings graph. That means although our number is lower than we typically see, it is tending to follow a typical pattern at least. This next one is a biggie, closed sales. Now, if you think about it, this is the number that truly matters because it's what actually happened. Those pending sales only tells you what is in progress, what's under contract, and we are seeing lots and lots of properties go back on the market. So that pending sales number does not necessarily end up equating your closed sales. In September 2023, we had 3,316 closed sales, which is a whopping 24.9% decrease from September 2022. That's not something we want to see, although being that it is decreasing is not terribly unheard of. Again, based on the seasonality of real estate, we are now in the fall. In September, I would expect that this number would be a little bit higher just because the closings that happened in September should reflect those that went under contract in August. So I am a little bit surprised at just how much this dropped from August to September 2023. Not everyone realizes this, but days on market until sale is a very important number to focus on. This is because it impacts not only how much the seller is going to receive for their property, but it's also going to impact if the buyer can get a deal on a property or if they have to compete on a property. So the days on market until sale is extremely important no matter which side of the fence you might fall on. When days on market is very, very low, it indicates that there's heavy competition in the market and buyers are having to scoop up these properties rather quickly. When days on market goes up a little bit higher, it indicates that properties are sitting a little bit longer and possibly are priced too high, or buyers aren't in a big rush to pick them up. They're not so necessary that they scoop up these properties quickly. September 2023 brought a days on market of 29. You can tell that we are still staying very steady, moving, from 34 to 30 to 29 to 30 to 29. This is a very steady and balanced number. If we take a look at our historical days on market until sale, you can see that back in 2010, we actually saw numbers over 120. 120 days on market is much, much higher than it is currently, than we're experiencing right now. At our lowest back in the summer of 21 and the summer of 22, we were seeing these numbers in the teens. So you can see just how varied this number can get in the Charlotte area. You all already know that the average list price is decided by the homeowners, the sellers. They are placing their homes at a list price that they are choosing oftentimes based on how they're communicating with their listing agent to get information about the market. Now this number, we are still seeing this number go up. In September 2023, $504,290, which is still an increase, 8.9% increase from last year. That does not necessarily equate to where the homes end up selling or closing, because the buyers do come in and determine where that market value is. If the home is sitting on the market for several days more than normal, more than what's average in that area, then buyers know that they can come in and offer less on the property. So this is really a good account of how the sellers, how the homeowners are feeling about the current market, because they're still feeling confident that they can get their price in today's market. Now, the average sales price is what the market is reflecting. The market is telling us where these homes are closing, and for September 2023, that was $470,416. Although this is a slight decrease from August, only about $4,000 less than August, it is a 4.7% increase from September 2023. That's important to note. If you keep an eye, if you look at this column right here, it is showing you that on average, the sales prices are still increasing year over year. That means that if you are one of those people who's really worried about a crash, about home prices coming down, the evidence is just not supporting it at this time. We are still seeing positives every single month. And you can tell from the historical average sales price by month that on average prices trend upwards historically. Another thing you'll notice when looking at this graph is that going up and down in a given year is completely normal and expected. From month to month, you might see gains and you might see losses, but in reality, you're not losing any money on your property until you're selling at a loss. So when you're holding on to a property for several years because the price is trending up, you are still gaining over those years. It is extremely difficult to time the market perfectly, and lots of people will tell you sell high, buy low, right? That's what people talk about, but it is extremely difficult, even impossible in most cases, to time the market perfectly. I know lots of people are waiting on this one, the percent of original list price received. This one is also important. Just like days on market, this one really tells a huge story about what's happening in the market. When homes are selling at 100% of their list price, it means they're selling for exactly what the sellers thought it should be listed for. Right now, September 2023, 97.7%. This is an average telling you of all the homes listed in the Charlotte area in the whole MLS, they are selling at 97.7% of the list price. That means they are selling for under list on average. That does not mean every house, it just means the average. That means that many houses are still selling for over list, and it all depends on where you place it on the market. What many sellers are doing is pricing their home at market level or even just slightly below, allowing buyers to come in and compete for that home and drive the price up. Other sellers will list their price a little bit too high, and then buyers don't necessarily come in as quickly. You may not have as much competition, and that drives the price a little bit lower. This stat here is tied very closely to days on market, so just keep that in mind. Let's jump over to inventory of homes for sale. In September 2023, there were 5,905 homes left on the market at the end of the month. This is a little bit higher than in August, but a 22.8% decrease from September 2022. So there is still inventory available in the market. You can find a home if you need one, but it is seeing a decrease, at least for the past several months. We've had a year-over-year decrease, and really I would expect that same story to hold true until interest rates come down a little bit. Right now, interest rates are a lot higher than what the homeowners are experiencing in their bank accounts, and that is making them wary of putting their homes on the market. Now, if the interest rates come down even 1% or 2%, then those homeowners who might not have a perfect home might be more willing to sell, put their home on the market, and move. So if we see interest rates come down, I would expect inventory to go up. And lastly, let's look at the month's supply of homes for sale. In September, we had 1.7 months supply of inventory available, and that is a little bit more than last month, but we're really kind of staying fairly steady. We haven't made huge jumps in a while. It's a 5.6% decrease from last year, where there was 1.8 months of inventory. But like I said, remember, if we see those interest rates come down even 1 or 2 percentage points, we are likely to see a little bit of an increase in this number. Again, my name is Christen.Ripoli, and I am your local real estate expert for Charlotte, North Carolina. If you're thinking about relocating to the area, or even if you already live here and you're thinking about buying or selling, I would love to hear from you. Leave a comment below or reach out to me directly. My information is down in the description below. You know what? I would love to hear your predictions about what's coming up next in the housing market in Charlotte. Go ahead and leave a comment and tell me what you think is going to happen for the rest of 2023 and into the beginning of 2024. I can't wait to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching today. Bye.